Starting your journey into the world of drumming can be extremely daunting. Seeing all that content online and all the video lessons can feel like being swept away by a tidal wave of just disjointed content. While the accessibility of all this content is absolutely fantastic, it can miss out on some of the fundamentals that you want to know when you start playing drums. The purpose of this video is to help any beginner drummers identify some of the things that they may not have considered that are holding them back when they're playing the drums. With that being said, here are 5 mistakes that beginners make. The first mistake is simply not setting your kit up correctly. If you're not taking the time to set up your drum kit properly, then you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage, and that's before you even pick up the drumsticks. An improper setup can really hinder your playing by affecting your posture, your movements and overall ergonomics. It can also cause muscle strain, which is no good. For example, this kit here is set up badly. I'm having to stretch to reach things which can lead to strain in your muscles. My drums are positioned in a way where it's hard to play smoothly, and my stool is very low. A low stool can cause lower back pain, so it's really important to set your stool height properly. All these small factors combined make the physical act of actually playing the drums really difficult for yourself. It will really hinder your learning process and actual performance on the drums, and also, like I say, it can lead to some sore muscles. If you compare that to my normal setup, as you can see, I can move around the kit a lot more easy. I'm not having to stretch to reach things. It feels a lot more natural. My stool's set up in a way where I'm comfortable playing my pedals and there's no strain on my lower back. Because my drum kit is comfortable, I'm a lot more relaxed when I'm playing. It also means that I can flow a lot better around the drum kit, which means I can be faster and I can play for a lot longer. The second mistake I see beginner drummers make is that they just practice at one volume, which is as loud as they can play. I know it's so much fun to just whack the drums as hard as you can, but only practicing at that one level, 100% level, will mean that you can only play stuff at that one level. Being a drummer is more than just hitting things as hard as you can though. If you want to be more than a drummer and you want to be a musician, then it's important that you have a dynamic range in your playing, i.e. what I mean is that you can play softly, but you can also ramp it up to a loud level. It's really easy to play fast and loud, but true control comes from when you're playing fast but quietly. Working on controlling your volume will make you a much more desirable drummer, and it will open up a lot more opportunities to play with people. For example, there might be an acoustic jam on in a pub somewhere, and if you rock up and just whack the cymbals as loud as you can, drowning everyone out, you probably won't be invited back. But if you can play softly and with all the other musicians and play kind of to the band and to the room, then you're going to be invited back and you're going to have a better time, and it could lead to something. So yeah, dynamics are very important, so remember to practice both, really loud and really fun and whatever, but also really quietly. This brings me to my third mistake, which is people don't play with other musicians. I know playing with people as a beginner can be extremely daunting, but honestly, if you find some pals that are also learning instruments, or you go to a jam night, it will do so many good things for your drumming. I guarantee it will be a lot of fun once you get over that initial fear, and once you are playing, you'll learn so much about how to play this instrument in context with other people. Because at the end of the day, we play drums, which means that we're probably going to be playing with other musicians. When you do start to jam with people, you'll pick up lots of great little tips like, you'll pick up when to play, you'll pick up when not to play, you'll start to pick up on different cues from different musicians, and overall become a more musical drummer. It's really easy to just sit in your bubble and play drums in your shed, which is basically what I did for about 5 years. But if you do that, it can only get you so far. Sometimes you have to push past that barrier and start playing with people to really, accelerate your learning process on the drums. Now, to be honest, this tip is not just for beginners. I actually moved back from a city to my parents' house so I can actually use this studio a bit more often and make more video content. This place is in the middle of nowhere and there's absolutely no music scene, so playing live took a bit of a back burner situation, so I was still playing live but nowhere near as much. And really, to be honest, because I've just been playing by myself with these drums and recording videos, it's been such a different experience, and sometimes going back to a band setting can be really jarring, and I noticed my playing has actually got a bit rustier because of that. So it's always good to play live with other people because it keeps you on your A game. Now, the fourth mistake I see a lot of beginners make, and also pros make, is they compare themselves to other people. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the worst things you can do because you really do end up, hating your instrument, falling out of love with music, and sometimes quitting the instrument altogether. It's so important that you don't compare your progress to other people's progress. There's a really fine line when it comes to watching someone, because you can go one way where you feel really inspired, which is great, but you can also go the other way where you just feel like you want to quit the instrument and you feel like, I'm never going to be that good, and it's really not great. If you're ever in that second situation and you start to feel that way, the best thing you can do is just stop watching. Don't worry about what they're doing, focus on yourself and just focus on where you want to be and just set your own goals, and that way you're always progressing, you're always getting better, and you're not getting bogged down with what everyone else is doing, you know? The thing is, it's not a race, we're all in this together, so there's no point in comparing. It's a very, very easy thing to do. I do it myself all the time. Now for me, it was all about Instagram, so I used to go on Instagram every day and just watch all these people chopping out every day on these repost pages, and it just left me feeling really disheartened, and I just didn't want to play the drums because I was just like, what's the point? I'll never be that good. Now what I did to actually combat this is actually block all these repost pages and just focus on following the people that actually inspired me. So I was just following really great teachers like Mike Johnson, Stephen Taylor, Orlando Drummer, all those great guys, and because of that I feel genuinely inspired when I go on Instagram instead of just disheartened. Don't think of this music thing as a competition, but think of it more as a personal journey that you can share with other musicians around you, and that way it's a lot more fun, trust me. The fifth and final mistake is that beginners sometimes pick up bad habits. This is a problem mostly with people that are self-taught. Now I was actually self-taught for the first 5 years of my drumming, and I actually never learned how to hold the drumstick properly, so I never actually learned the technique of like finger technique or anything like that, and I didn't know what a fulcrum was or anything. So when I went to university, they were like, why are you holding your drumsticks like that? And that is only, 5 years later after I started playing drums, that's the first time I actually learned how to hold a drumstick properly. Now when I actually did learn how to play and hold the drumstick properly, it made a huge difference in my playing. Now for beginners, it can be hard to identify what you're doing wrong, because how would you know what you're doing wrong because you've not been taught? It doesn't make sense. To help combat this, I recommend that you get some lessons, some structured lessons with a one-on-one drum teacher in person, or if you're on a tighter budget, I've got a perfect solution for you. That's right, it's I'm extremely happy to say that my brand new course, The Ultimate Guide to Drums, takes you through everything that you could possibly want to know as a beginner or intermediate drummer. We start by going through the kit setup and tuning, move on to hand and foot technique, and then move on to learn about sheet music, how to play beats, fills, rudiments, and even how to play with other musicians. The best part about the course is that it will continue to grow with lessons being added around the questions you send in. I can even offer feedback on videos you send me so that, if you do start to pick up bad habits, send your videos in and I can correct them for you. It's the closest thing I can do without actually being in the room with you. If you want to check out, there's a link down below that will take you to the page and you can learn all about the course and all the different lessons so you can see how much content is really jam-packed into this. Seriously though, if you are a beginner and you want a structured course that takes you from A to B, from total beginner to high intermediate level, then this is absolutely perfect for you. I seriously think you will dig the course, and it is very affordable. It costs about the same as like 2 or 3 drum lessons that you'd get with a teacher. It took over 1.5 years to make, and it was really stressful. I probably lost about half my hair because of it. And there's over 9 hours of video, there's backing tracks, there's sheet music, there's actual lead sheets for the backing tracks themselves, there's workbook, quizzes, so much stuff. But yeah, sorry, that is a lot of information and that's a big ad, so I'm going to stop it there. And that is actually the end of the video, to be honest. I hope this video highlights some things that are maybe holding you back as a beginner drummer and just help you break through that next level and start really improving once more. Learning drums is often like a learning curve, so you're going up and up and you're learning lots and lots and lots, but sometimes it will plateau off and you'll just kind of stay stagnant, and sometimes you need like one breakthrough and like eureka moment, so something maybe that you've learned in this video to break through and start progressing once again. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. It's been a while since I've actually talked on camera, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit rough. I'm a little bit out of practice, but I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. Until next time, take care. See you later.